So I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's been a minute, right? We have not seen any UFC fights in weeks, and we know this is how it usually goes at the ending of the year. There's that break period where there's no fights because let's be honest, guys, the whole year there's fights all year long. So we can't get. I think we get a little bit too spoiled, but in the next coming week, we will have the first fight of the year being Kevin Gastelum versus Nazarin Imavov, and it's gonna be at the Apex. And I think I can all say, like, even now, I speak for everybody. A lot of people, we're tired of the fights being at the Apex. Like, the UFC has been able to have some fight nights be in arenas again. So I'm not sure the full spectrum of like how that's working out, but hopefully they can just stop putting on fights in the Apex. It's just old now. But I'm gonna get into the main point of this video, guys. Kelvin Gastelum, right? What's at stake for Kelvin Gastelum in this fight? I would say I wouldn't say his UFC career is at stake. Maybe, possibly, but I think there's still one last bit of hope for Kevin Gastelum if he does lose this fight, and that is a possibility of him returning back to welterweight. Now I'm not saying that him going down back to welterweight will make him this crazy great fighter and things like that, but he just needs to be a little bit more disciplined to make that welterweight weight because the last time he was there was an absolute joke. But him at 185 has not worked out. So we know Kelvin Gastelum at 185 has not worked out pretty much. In the beginning, it was kind of working out. I remember that fight he had versus Chris Weidman all the way back in July 22nd, 2017, UFC on Fox 25. He lost by an arm triangle submission, and then he ended up winning 2 fights in a row. He beat Michael Bisping by KO, and then he beat Jacare Souza by a split decision, which led to him, it was supposed to be him getting a title fight because at that time, the middleweight division was a lot less highly talented. So 2 fights and he was in a title fight, or 2 wins in a row and he was in a title fight situation. He didn't get that fight against Robert Whitaker. That fight ended up getting canceled, and Izzy went on to fight Anderson Silva. But when they did get the opportunity to fight, he got the opportunity to fight Israel Adesanya for the interim middleweight championship at UFC 236, and we all know how that fight went. One of the craziest fights ever. But Kelvin Gastelum did end up losing that fight, and then from there, it's been pretty much a roller coaster for him. He went on to UFC 244, where he lost against Darren Till in a split decision in a very, very boring fight. He then went against Jack Hermanson in Abu Dhabi, UFC Fight Night 172, and he lost very quickly by a heel hook with the man bun. I think he had a man bun. He lost with a man bun. That was tough. He got his only win in the past how many years? In the past 3 years or so, 4 years or so, he got his only win versus Ian Heinisch, and it was by a decision, which that was a good performance at UFC 258. And his most recent 2 losses have come to Robert Whitaker by unanimous decision and Jared Cannonier by unanimous decision. So his run at middleweight has literally been terrible. Like, he has about 3 wins and 5 losses, 3 and 5, not too great. I think the best thing for him would be to just go back to welterweight, right? Go back to welterweight, make some noise down there, and I feel like his career could get better. Now, in terms of what's at stake in terms of this fight, if he wins or loses, not too much. Him and Nazarin Imavov are both ranked in the lower top 10 of the division. To be exact, Kelvin Gastelum is ranked number 13, and Nazarin Imavov is ranked number 12. So it's not like, a win for either one of these guys is going to be something massive, but it's something to get the year started, get the division flowing and going, and hopefully something can happen for him. But yeah, if he loses this fight, I think his time at middleweight should be considered to be done because it really wouldn't make much sense for him to fight any more ranked guys at middleweight. He hasn't beat anybody ranked in the past how many years? And quite honestly, the only 2 people below Kelvin Gastelum are Chris Curtis, who's coming off of a win, and Darren Till, who we know how, what's been going on with Darren Till. And I'm pretty sure nobody wants to see a rematch with Kelvin Gastelum and Darren Till. So with that being said, guys, I think for Kelvin Gastelum, there's still a little bit of hope for him to go back down to welterweight, but he's going to have to change his whole lifestyle. He's going to have to change how he eats, and everything is going to have to change for him if he wants to see some more success in the sport, because right now he can't get a win at ranked. He can't get a ranked win at middleweight. Maybe in the next week, if he can come out there and get a win over Imavov, he can spark a little bit something back there at middleweight, but he's pretty much lost to everybody ranked up there. He's lost to Adesanya, Robert Whitaker, Jared Cannonier, and those guys are all ranked in the top 3. He lost to all 3 of those guys. He also lost to Jack Hermanson, who's ranked number 9. He lost to Darren Till, who's ranked 15. So I don't really see any room for him at middleweight. Even if he does secure the win over Imavov, it's like, what is he going to do at middleweight? You know what I mean? Like, nobody really wants to see those fights. So I think for his career and for everything else going forward for him, it'd be best for him to go back down to welterweight, even if he does win. Either he wins or loses, welterweight should be the next move for Kelvin Gastelum. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. That's pretty much it, man. It's your boy Jared Bless, and I'll see you guys in the next video, man. Peace.